We always hear about Nen in hockey, but one of the best power systems in Shounen is the Flame system in Hitman Reborn. It embodies the perfect blend of easy to understand but hard to master. It does what many power systems fail to do, which is open up a sandbox for creativity that the characters can express themselves in. The best conflicts in Shounen start as differences in mindsets or ideals, which then manifest themselves as interpersonal conflicts between characters, which eventually escalates into physical fights. These differences lay the narrative groundwork that makes these conflicts engaging and memorable. Hence why the best power systems provide a canvas for these different ideals to manifest in a physical form. Nen and Devil Fruit allow for the characterization of those involved in a conflict that transcends dialogue. How the character uses their power is just as important as how they combat their opponent's power. This leads us to today's topic of discussion, Dying Will Flames. There are many layers to the Dying Will Flames, but let's take it from the top and work our way down, since each layer of this power system provides another light that illuminates the world of Hitman Reborn and the characters that reside in it. Dying Will Flames are the physical manifestation of one's will. Everyone has access to Dying Will Flames inside them, but it takes a trained user to see them and utilize them in battle. Dying Will Flames are graded based on their purity, which is a proxy for the strength of the individual's resolve. The purity determines how much of a flame's special characteristics are drawn out. There are 7 different flames with their own unique properties. Flame strength is directly tied to flame purity. This means that a very pure storm flame can overwhelm an impure storm flame. The sky flames are based around harmony. They are the most comparable to actual flames. Consequently, they can burn objects and release heat. The sky flame is said to be the most balanced of all the flame types. It is exceptionally rare to have the sky flame. While this isn't often used, the harmony attribute allows the sky flame user to combine their flame type with another one to create a new, unique type of flame. Storm flames are based around disintegration. They are offensively based and primarily used for attacking. It causes anything it touches to decay and break apart, including other flames. Most users of storm flames focus on breaking through their opponent's defense with their high attack power and potency. Rain flames are based around tranquility. This means that they can weaken anything they touch. Rain flames can be used to slow down the opponent's movements or attacks. Rain flames can also negate and cancel out other flames. Sun flames are based around activation. This means that sun flames have the power to improve the efficiency of any type of activity. Sun flames can increase the rate of blood flow and cell regeneration, making it great for healing or strengthening individuals. Cloud flames are based around propagation. This means that cloud flame users can rapidly increase the size and quantity of different objects. While it may sound simple, it has the ability to rapidly overwhelm opponents with a seemingly endless quantity of offensive pressure. By creating a new copy of itself, cloud flames allow for strategies that rely on duplication and excess magnitude. Lightning flames are based around hardening. Lightning flames can solidify and increase the firmness of objects. Lightning flames can also be used defensively to make strong barriers. Conversely, they can be used offensively to sharpen and reinforce objects to the highest degree. The electricity component of lightning can also be utilized to electrocute enemies. Mist flames are based around construction. This means that mist flames are primarily used for illusions. Mist flames are generally weaker than other flames in direct combat, but make up for this with their utility when it comes to deception. Soft mist flames are great for visual-based illusions, while hard mist flames can create illusions that have a physical presence. Illusions made using hard mist flames can physically interact with the world and have real-world effects. By expertly using soft mist flames for visual illusions and hard mist flames for physical illusions, it can create an environment where your opponent doesn't know what is real and what is fake. Upon first glance, you may think that storm flames are the strongest option since it disintegrates anything that it comes into contact with. That couldn't be further from the truth though. The storm flames are powerful, but the secret behind the flames is that there is no clear choice on which flame is the best. What's most important is how you use them. Here are some examples. Storm flames can disintegrate anything they come into contact with. However, rain flames can slow the effect of that disintegration to a snail's pace. A pace so slow that the disintegration is rendered useless. Against a cloud flame user, the storm flame may run into issues if the cloud flame user keeps replicating. Depending on the user, a lightning flame may be hardened enough to block that disintegration. Storm isn't weaker than these other flames. These examples just highlight how things aren't straightforward or cut and dry when it comes to flame interactions. These are just 3 examples. Imagine sun flames versus mist flames, lightning flames versus rain flames, cloud flames versus sky. Even here, with just the basics, we can see that there's a lot of potential matchups that can be argued both ways. Highly trained users can choose specific parts of their bodies to reinforce with flames as well. This creates interesting scenarios where both combatants are searching for and targeting the weak points that are least protected by flames. Similar to how nen or hockey users attack the most vulnerable areas of their opponent. Now you're starting to get how this system can go even deeper. Rings and boxes are another component of Dying Wolf flames. Rings are like keys that act as conduits for the flames of the user. Boxes are tools that contain flame-specific weapons or animals that can assist in battle. Rings are classified by the singular flame that they can be used with. So a storm ring will work with storm flames and will be worn by a storm flame user. Rings are also ranked by their quality and output. The ranks range from E, which is the lowest, to A, which is the highest. The rank of the ring should match the user's proficiency with flames, as it's directly tied to the purity of the output flame. For example, if a highly proficient flame user uses a low-grade ring, the ring will break. However, if a flame user uses a ring above their level, they won't be able to get the maximum benefit from it. Very importantly, ring grade also determines the class of box weapons that the user can open. Within the ring system, there are even subcategories of rings, like the Hell Rings. These are 6 super rare rings that have special effects that go beyond the scope of a typical ring. The ring someone has can tell you a lot about who they are and what they represent. A box weapon is a small cube that contains flame-based weapons. Similar to rings, box weapons are classified according to the flame attribute that they maintain. Box weapons can only be opened by an appropriately ranked ring with the same flame type as the box. The exception here is that sky rings can open any box weapon type. The drawback is that sky ring holders won't be able to draw out the full power of the box weapon when compared to a user with the same flame type as the box. Boxes can contain animals that can assist the user in battle, weapons, support items, and more. When it comes to animal type box weapons, the higher the purity of the flames injected, the stronger the animal will be in battle. With all these pieces coming together, the battles in Hitman Reborn end up being multifaceted conflicts that can go in many directions. Combatants develop their own unique fighting styles with specific support items. This is a perfect open canvas for characterization and development. You never know how a new character is going to approach a fight, and you're equally unaware of how the existing and main characters are going to respond. A box weapon can completely change the tide of battle. An incredibly pure flame can completely overwhelm an opponent. A character's fighting technique and skills can create unexpected openings. All of these components come together to make combat interesting. How would a Sun Flame user combat a Rain Flame user? Would they be overwhelmed by tranquility and unable to move? Or would the activation attribute that they have allow them to keep moving at the speed they need to in order to win the battle? What about a Mist Flame user versus a Cloud Flame user? Who can get the better of who in the mind games of duplication, illusions, and propagation? And we haven't even touched on combinations yet. What if a Storm and a Rain user combine forces to work together against a Lightning and a Cloud user? How would that go? How would they combat each other, and how would the flames interplay when it comes to teamwork as well as combination attacks? Sky Flame users are rare, but they're often the most well-versed in combat and leadership. How will you take that into account? I haven't even touched on the different box weapons and items that can be used to assist different users in battle. I hope you believe me when I tell you that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Before battles, there would be some great tension in the story because even the characters knew that the right box weapon at the right time could put them out of commission. This made for a great viewing experience. The only criticism I have is that the power system was not explored to its fullest. Certain key fights were simplified in a way that betrayed the complexity of the power system. The weakest fights in the series are undoubtedly the ones that strayed away from the clever use of flames and box weapons to solve problems. That being said, the quantity of interesting fights outnumber the simplified ones. These simple fights happen much later, so the majority of the story can be enjoyed. Lastly is a criticism that ties more into the series as a whole, but affects the battle system. If you've heard about Reborn, you've probably seen mixed opinions on the beginning of the show. To put things simply, Hitman Reborn started out as a comedy and turned into a battle shonen around episode 20, which in the manga translates to around chapter 62. Around this time is when the author starts to build the foundation of the battle system. The series starts to hit its stride in the following arc and continues to build upon itself after that. This means that the comedy-focused intro can be confusing for some because there isn't a clear designation on which aspects of the story will be relevant and what will be dropped when things get more serious. I hope that this video has opened your eyes to the depth and structure of Hitman Reborn's power system. It is rarely discussed, however I think that it should be in the conversation of one of the best power systems in shonen. While it takes some time to get going, Hitman Reborn at its best has some of the most engaging and interesting fights in shonen. I will be honest, the giants like One Piece and Hunter x Hunter are considered as such because of their consistent and almost unrelenting pushing of conventions and boundaries. Not only have those two series innovated, but they have innovated many times over many years. Hitman Reborn created something amazing, but it did not redefine industry conventions or create a tidal wave of change. Hitman Reborn refined its concept, built upon its foundation, and made something memorable. The series isn't dense with world building, but it also isn't haphazardly authored. It strikes a balance and maintains that balance for its duration. It's a fun, enjoyable ride. It probably won't shake the foundation of what you define as storytelling, but it will bring you on a competently told journey with exciting twists and turns. That's what I see as the biggest strength of Hitman Reborn. It stays true to what it is and delivers a great story while doing so. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified of future releases.